Meghan Markle's recent comments on her Netflix series about hugging in Britain have sparked a lot of discussion. She stated that she was unaware that hugging was considered such a taboo in the UK, describing herself as a natural hugger and expressing surprise that her affectionate nature was perceived as jarring by many Brits. While it's true that British culture often emphasizes politeness and a certain degree of reserve, it's inaccurate to say that British people are universally averse to physical affection. The core issue isn't hugging itself, but rather the specific way Meghan approaches physical contact, which some perceive as overly enthusiastic and even intrusive. This difference in approach was clearly demonstrated during the royal family's Christmas Day walk at Sandringham. Catherine, Princess of Wales, shared a warm and heartfelt hug with Karen Anvil, a 73-year-old woman battling cancer. The interaction was completely natural and unforced, conveying genuine warmth and compassion. There was no hesitation, no awkwardness, just a simple act of human connection. This moment highlighted the contrast between Catherine's genuine display of affection and the way Meghan's hugs are often described. It demonstrated that Catherine doesn't have an issue with hugging, she simply doesn't seem to connect with Meghan's style, and it's likely that many other people share this sentiment. Most people appreciate a hug that is comfortable and respectful of personal space, not one that feels like an overwhelming embrace. To further illustrate this point, let's consider Meghan's first encounter with Prince William and Princess Catherine. Meghan has mentioned that she arrived for the meeting wearing ripped jeans and no shoes. Imagine the scene. Meghan, barefoot and radiating enthusiasm, goes in for a hug, likely aiming for William. Catherine, ever composed and mindful of protocol, subtly steps aside, perhaps offering a polite handshake instead. This seemingly small gesture, which Meghan may have interpreted as coldness or rejection, was more likely Catherine's way of navigating a potentially awkward situation with grace and diplomacy. She was probably trying to maintain a level of formality appropriate for a first meeting with someone who was about to become part of the royal family. Accounts of Meghan's hugs often describe them as more than just a brief embrace. They're portrayed as a full-body experience, involving close physical contact and a prolonged hold. One commentator even humorously compared them to a dog enthusiastically rubbing against someone's leg, a rather vivid and unflattering comparison. Some have jokingly suggested that receiving a hug from Meghan requires a post-hug decontamination process, complete with showers, antibacterial wipes, and perhaps even a full hazmat suit. These exaggerated descriptions highlight the discomfort some people reportedly feel with the intensity of her hugs. Beyond the physical aspect, there's also the perception that Meghan often tries to turn personal interactions into opportunities for social media content. It's been suggested that she wanted to take a selfie with Catherine during their initial meeting, a request that Catherine tactfully avoided. The fact that Meghan still mentions this encounter years later suggests a lingering sense of unease, or perhaps even resentment. Instead of moving on, Meghan now generalizes her experience, suggesting that British people are inherently averse to hugging. However, this is a misrepresentation. The issue isn't with hugging as a cultural practice, it's with the specific way Meghan expresses affection. The contrast between Catherine and Meghan extends beyond hugging styles. Catherine, as a future queen, is perceived as embodying traditional royal values: composure, reserve, and a dedication to duty. She handles public appearances and interactions with a quiet dignity and grace. Meghan, on the other hand, is sometimes seen as constantly seeking attention and validation, similar to a reality TV contestant who struggles to remain in the spotlight. The core issue isn't about hugs being jarring in British culture, it's about Meghan's particular approach to physical contact, which many find overwhelming and uncomfortable. People aren't recoiling simply because they are British, they are reacting to what they perceive as an invasion of personal space and a lack of awareness of social cues. Catherine's actions on Christmas Day, her simple and genuine hug to a stranger, spoke volumes. It was a clear demonstration of authentic warmth and compassion, qualities that Meghan often claims to possess, but doesn't consistently demonstrate in her public interactions. Catherine's gesture reinforced the idea that genuine affection is welcomed, while performative displays are often met with skepticism. This contrast in their approaches has significantly shaped public perception, with Catherine generally viewed as authentic and Meghan often seen as trying too hard. This difference is not about cultural norms around hugging, but about genuine connection versus a perceived performance.